Hey guys, so this week I'm going to be talking to you about dumbbell pressing. The same principles will apply to benching, and just like squatting, there's not one correct way to do this properly. There's different styles for different methods and different training purposes. Just one thing before I get started, a lot of you guys have seen my pressing the 125-pound dumbbells for reps, and in that video a lot of you guys are saying, wow, you look really small. Here's actually a clip of the 125-pound dumbbells in my gym compared to the size of the 25s. As you can see, it's actually quite a large difference. But anyways, let's get into the clips. First off, I'm going to start off with the traditional style. So first thing when doing this is you want to bring your shoulder blades back. And what this does actually helps give you a more stable foundation for when you're pressing, decreases the needed amount of range of motion, and helps protect your shoulders during the exercise. So then you're going to bring the weight back, and the next point we're going to be talking about is the lower back arc. This is done by a lot of powerlifters and people trying to push their max because it shortens the range of motion of your bench and it helps you drive more when your feet are planted in the ground. Another quick point I do want to talk about when doing this arc is doing incline dumbbell presses or benches. Some people, they arc so much to the point where on an incline they're essentially flat benching. So don't arc too much. The arc that you see here in this video is sufficient. Next up, we're going to be talking about foot placement. You want your feet firmly planted on the ground, and this is because this will give you a more secure base, and you're going to be using your leg muscles to drive into the ground, transferring that energy from your thighs to your back and thus to the bar, helping you actually push more. So when doing this method, you're going to bring your elbows in towards your body to the point where essentially the elbows or dumbbell or barbells is lining up with the lower portion of your chest. There's various ways that people like doing this. Some like pressing it towards their face. I find that a direct path along the bottom of your chest line is the safest way to go about doing this. Now on to the range of motion. With this exercise, your range of motion should be to the point where the bar basically touches your chest, and then from that point you want to push up. Now with that being said, if you cannot go this low because your shoulder is tight, do not go this low, because the point where you feel a stretch on your shoulder, that is the point where injuries do occur. So if you can only go to parallel, only go to parallel. But if that is the case, start incorporating some stretch training to allow you to hit the desired range of motion. So the style I just showed you is more of a powerlifter strength training style, as that allows you to push your maximum lifts. My preferred method will not allow you push as much as that, but I find gives more direct stimulation to the chest itself. And all comes down to your muscle anatomy. If you look at how the chest is actually built and connected, it's connected at your clavicle, your sternum, and then your upper 6 ribs. And from there, I don't know if you can see this, but the muscle fibers run from where it's connected right to your upper humerus and basically your upper arm. So whereas the traditional style, you're going to be pressing like this with your shoulder blades back, chest up, a lot of that load is transferred onto your triceps themselves, allowing you to do more of a combination movement that helps you push your maximal lifts. If you were to press like I do, which is a complete T, you can see how the muscle fibers right here run a direct path now to the transferable load. So I'm actually still going to be pulling my shoulder blades back, but the first step you're going to notice that I'm not doing is I am not going to be focusing on creating a arc on my lower back. The arc that I do have is just the natural curvature of my spine. Feet are still planted on the ground, but they're only there to just stabilize me. I'm no longer pushing from them to provide that driving action, as now all the load is going to be loaded onto my chest itself. It is very important to watch your range of motion when doing this style of dumbbell pressing. You'll see here that I'm pressing the point where I'm just above parallel, because with this style your chest is essentially already pre-stretched out, and if you were to go below parallel, you'd be transferring a lot of that weight onto your front deltoids, front shoulders, and deloading your chest, which is not our goal. You're going to get a lot of people in the gym telling you that if you don't go past parallel, it doesn't count. Don't listen to them. Let them get injured, because, again, we're not in the gym to move weight. We're in the gym to stimulate muscle growth. So if I want to get a greater stretch on my chest, I will do an exercise such as chest flies to allow me to do that. I do not need to get that extra centimeter of stretch on my chest with this exercise. So one thing I actually forgot to talk about is arm position. When doing this exercise, you want to always have your forearm perpendicular to the ground. You never want to bring it in or bring it out, because if you bring it in and the weight's too heavy, your grip gives out, you can actually drop that weight on your chest. If you bring it out, you can now stretch your shoulders and tear your rotator cuff, and you do not want to tear your rotator cuff, because if you tear that, you are out of the gym for months, maybe even surgery. That being said, when doing this exercise, if there's nobody around you and you need to drop the weight, drop the weight. Do not try to save it by putting it down slowly, because you do not want to stretch your shoulders past parallel. So if you need to drop it, drop it. And again, like I said before, neither of these methods are right or wrong. You will still achieve size and strength from using both methods. Just each ones are more efficient at doing certain goals. Alright guys, so I hope that was helpful and informative. If you are going to be trying this out and you're used to the traditional style of benching or dumbbell pressing, do not treat this as the same exercise. Treat this as a brand new exercise. And what I mean by that is, start off, lift light until you can lift right. So start off with lighter weights until you can actually feel through the range of motion and get the form proper. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe. Got any questions, comments, or ideas, hit me up on my Facebook, which is down below, or my Twitter. And as always, lift light till you can lift right.